Okay, here we go. So my name is Betsy Ko, and I'm so happy to welcome you to the first of two sessions in December. These are new member or newish member Zooms, where we answer questions that you have and look at things together in real time. So we've been doing these for about 2 years. And Steve Greenwood in the cap, yep, has been with me since the very first one. So
Really?
uh,
I keep forgetting it was in the first one.
you were, and you were fantastic. And so afterwards I said, hey, would you come and be a regular on these with me? So yeah,
I should do a couple after. Just a couple.
yeah.
Just a couple.
So we thought it would be fun tonight if ever we had, this is a wonderful turnout. I would love it if everybody could just we'll go around, maybe I'll call on people and say how long you've been on WikiTree, or if, the way I think of it, your WikiTree birthday. When did you sign the honor code? So I have been an honor codes signer since 2019. Steve, how about you?
I signed the honor code on July 23rd, 2020.
Okay.
Over 4 years.
And Beverly?
Well, I'm 4 months old, so I signed in the beginning of September, the end of August, somewhere around there. So I'm really a newbie.
Yeah,
Still
excellent.
stumbling.
Okay.
You're doing great. I've seen your progress. Stephen, how about you?
January 2019.
Okay, you beat me out by a little bit. Cool. And Mark?
I think mine was just a couple months ago. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
I didn't know I should write it down.
Oh, well,
We'll go back to your contributions and find out.
It's actually right at the top of your profile.
Oh, that's it.
Like right by your name, it'll say, that you signed the honor.
And 11 November 24.
Wow. Less than a month.
Wow. Congratulations. Welcome in.
Veterans Day.
Thank you.
Jerry, how about you?
23.
2023. Awesome.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was before that, but I just read it.
Yeah, cool. What about you, Sue?
September of 2020. I just looked it up.
Okay, I think I'm sensing a lot of us got active around the pandemic time.
Yeah.
And Rolf?
July of 21.
Okay. Right. Doris, how about you?
15 January 2023.
2023. Okay. And Vera, how about you?
April 14, 2024.
Okay, also very, very new to the platform. Well, welcome. Anne.
September 2021.
2021. Okay. And we have Peter. How long have you been on?
May 24.
Okay, great.
2023, welcome. September 2023.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Michelle. How about you, Susan?
November 13th of 2024.
Okay. Okay, also very recent.
So I could say 1 month.
Yeah. Well, welcome. You and Mark both are November, 1 month old. And Kate, you also replied to the thread. Thank you very much. The G2G post to say that you're going to join tonight. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm having trouble with my audio, though. I'm having trouble hearing.
Oh.
So I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay. Is anyone else having trouble hearing tonight?
No.
It's lower, but
okay.
Maybe it's these things.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll come back to you, Kate. We'll let you sort things out.
Okay. Thanks.
Kevin. Sure. Kevin, when did you join?
I joined in, I think it was November of 2020.
Okay.
Put most of my information in, but I haven't really gotten back too much. I just kind of check in every now and then.
Right.
And when was Denise?
Oh, I'm February of 2020.
Okay. Great. Lisa, how about you?
October 21st.
Of this year?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome. Welcome.
All right.
And Bart, when did you join?
March of 24, but I'm essentially brand new. I haven't done anything
Okay.
since I got signed up.
Right, right. We understand. Like I said that I signed in 2019, which is true, but I got a little intimidated and I left and then I came back. That is a really common
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
I came in at 2020, then it got too going nuts and I was scared. And so I went away. And then on 21, that's when I did the honor code.
Right.
It's totally normal to sign up, walk away, come back.
Two drinks is spilled.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And Terry, when did you join?
Well, just recently, a few months ago, but I haven't done anything with it at all. So I got very intimidated, and that's why when I saw this a few minutes ago, I thought, oh, I'm just going to sign on real quick and see what it's all about.
All right.
That's exactly the intent of these sessions. So good. And Gary, when did you join?
Is there another Jerry?
Carrie.
Carrie. So, she's having trouble with her audio.
Yeah, Carrie with a K is still connecting to audio.
Maybe a
with
guy.
a C.
And
Are you there?
Chat.
Okay, maybe not. So our plan for tonight, thank you all for sharing where you are in your time with the community. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to look at a specific topic. We're trying to look at a beginner topic every session. So the last one we had in late November, we talked all about G2G, which is the Genealogist to Genealogist Forum. So if you have any questions about that, you can go back and look at this, watch the 2nd November recording. And we talked, actually, I didn't mean it for it to be at such great length, but it actually was half an hour worth on G2G. Well, it's a pretty rich topic. So tonight's topic is going to be about collaboration with members of the community. Now, collaboration/communication. And obviously that can happen through G2G, but we're going to talk about some of the other ways that you can work together with members of the community. So let me go to share. And does everybody see the WikiTree homepage?
Yes.
Great. So you can always find the honor code right here under the help. And I think everybody who's here, everybody signed the honor code. And so point number 1 is that we collaborate. WikiTree is such a special place in that we are trying our very hardest to create a tree for the world where there is one profile for every single person. Now, that's not to say that duplicates don't happen unintentionally, but when they do, we work together to make sure that yes, this is the same person, and then we merge them. So, what to do when you are going along, you're adding in your tree, maybe you get, to like your second great grandmother and you enter in her data and you find out that there's a profile on there that already looks like she's there. The dates match, some of the other information matches. Now there's sort of 2 situations. So here's one possibility. You go to that profile and you look at it and you see that there is no profile manager. And so what that means is that you can adopt the profile. You can just click on this hyperlink just to the right of no profile manager and adopt. It will go onto your watch list, and then your name will be here under profile manager. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is maybe you click on this link that the profile that comes up for your second great grandmother, and you see that there is a profile manager. So there are a couple of things you can do. First of all, of course, the little envelope icon will allow you to send a private message to the person. And so that's helpful to know. But it took me a long time to realize what this icon between the name and the envelope was. So if you click on that, it's going to tell you the relationship of the profile manager to the subject of the profile. And that's always interesting to me, if I'm planning to communicate with them, to know, I mean, are they, very, very distant by marriage? Are they a direct descendant? So I always click on that. And then, you can either send a private message, or the other thing that you can do, and I'm sorry to scroll, this is a long profile, is you can go down to the comments, and you will see that any profile has a comment section at the bottom, and just post a comment. And in either the case of a private message or a comment to the profile manager is going to get an email that notifies them, oh, you have a private message, or there's a comment on XYZ profile, and then they will know to check it out. So in this case, fellow member Mike Edwards sent me a message that actually sent me off on a little research spurt for this ancestor of mine, and he was pointing out that there were multiple Isaac men by the same name in the area. And so I got into that, and you can comment back and reply back and forth. And actually, as long as there's no sensitive information, I do like putting comments on the profile, and it's a nice record of the communication right there for reference. So, Steve, am I forgetting anything so far?
Well, if you do send a private message, it goes to the person's email. You can keep sending emails to each other. So then you would not be heading back to the wiki for additional communication in that case. So, that's something to note about the private message, is that it does retain it off to your email client. And then later, if you wanted to do, comments, you'd actually be able to see a thread. But like you said, to your point, it's good for non-living person information. We don't want to talk about living people for privacy reasons in multiple countries.
Yes. Yeah. I'm so glad you said that, Steve. Yeah. So you want to be very careful, especially in anything on the profile. Never put anything about a living person or an email address. Now, if you do send a private message to somebody, that will reveal your email to the other person, and like Steve said, then you can just reply to that message, and you two will then be communicating by email.
But usually the information is between members and not non-members. So we're trying to protect the identities of non-member people who are living.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of other things. If you happen upon an ancestor profile and you see that it has a profile manager, and say you look at what they have and you have some other information, you want to collaborate with them, which is wonderful. You can see, for instance, how active they are. So if you click on this, it'll take you right to my profile. Okay. And then you could see, if you go to my contributions, you can see how recently I have been active. And that's sometimes if you send messages and you're not getting a response, I will check this out and notice, oh, well, this person hasn't done anything on WikiTree in 2 years. You know, that's sort of something to take into consideration. The other thing that you'll want to look at is here I am back on the profile, is to look at the changes of the profile itself. So this is going to tell you what actually happened with this profile. So you can see, you can find out, who created it. Was it the person who's the profile manager now? Was it somebody else? Here's Mike's comment to me. I'm coming to you, Anne, in 1 second. You can see if in this case, it's just only been me who's been working on the profile, but you can see if there's been a variety of people. And all of those people who work on a profile might be valuable collaborators for you on WikiTree. Okay, I think that's all I had to say on that. You know, I don't mean for these segments to be very, very in depth or to take a lot of time, because we want to protect time for everybody's questions. But Steve, first of all, do we have any questions on this topic? Yes, Mark.
I wanted to comment that I came across this situation where I had new information that wasn't on a page. So I clicked the button to send a private message to the profile manager. And a little pop-up came up that asked if you're not sending any, private information, can you just put your question or comment into the comment box below?
Right.
And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, well, yeah, that'll work, because I'm just saying, hey, I'm interested in this page. Can I change things? Can we talk about it?
Right.
But I haven't heard anything back. But anyway, it just said, if it's not sensitive, you can use the comment. And so I did.
Right. And that you did exactly the right thing. Yeah. And whenever I may, if it's just a matter of I'm going to add a source, I probably, that's not, especially if it's a correct source, that's probably no one would have an objection to that. But if I'm going to do something deeper, like change the parent or add a spouse or something like that, you want to, give the
this is not superficial changes that I am seeing that I'm interested in making. So
yeah,
so
most
like,
of that. Go ahead. Sorry.
How long do I wait? If I don't get a response?
Well, usually I would say wait at least a week. And so can you describe to us what is the change that you would like to make?
If I remember, the profile was fairly scarce. And the profile of that same relative that I had in my tree over on Ancestry.com, I had developed quite a few sources. And so I wanted to add like parents and children, and there was something that looked incorrect to me that I wanted to change.
Right.
Something about where they were born or something.
Right.
But so, I had so many other pages to work on that I just sent off the message and went somewhere else. And, I'll get back to that later. But one of the questions I had for tonight is, what do I do if I never get a response?
Right. And I would say, if you've given it a reasonable amount of time, a week, and I would encourage you to check out that person's activity level and see, how recently they've been active. But then after that, if you still don't have a response, and you can really back up your changes with sources,
I'm going to link
Yeah.
a page from WikiTree about unresponsive profile managers. I'm going to put that into the chat so everybody
I mean,
have access to that.
is it an open profile that you want to work on?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then it's courtesy to try and reach the profile
Right.
manager, but eventually you can go ahead and make your additions.
Yeah, and I also understood that if I'm going to change somebody else's, that I want to make extra sure that I'm
Right.
putting correct things on there. But
Yeah. I had a similar situation recently where I wanted to connect parents to a profile, and I waited, and I actually found the death record that I had a bunch of soft secondary evidence, and then I found the death record that named her parents. So and I listed that in the comments.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I just
I
went
see
ahead.
I see what you're doing there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sort of, so that the person can go check it out themselves. It's, you just want to make it as transparent as possible.
Yeah, you want to leave your breadcrumbs behind so they can click on a link and they can verify it themselves.
Yeah.
Because if you try to say, I have this source and it's in my hands and nobody else can see it, but trust me, that only goes so far. But if you could find a link on like Family Search and then they can actually click on the link, that makes a world of difference, and that creates more of a community of trust between all the different users as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know you. I can't trust you, but I might be able to trust your link.
Right. I mean, and again, that's the whole idea behind sourcing, is that it's something that can be verified, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's, a document where it's impossible to copy it because some municipality said you can't do it. So then, there's certain exceptions, of course.
Right. But that would then invoke a conversation.
Right. Of course. And it's all about communication. So.
Yeah. Yep. And ideally, someone is, on WikiTree every day and they're excited to get your email and you have a conversation going back and forth and, you get farther as a team.
I received a communication this morning from somebody that said, "Hey, I see that you're interested in Mayflower and the name Tuttle and my link is this and that. And I'd love to, talk sometime."
Oh, great.
And I was like, "Oh, cool." So I emailed back and, so that happens too. It happened to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Good.
Denise.
Yes, Denise. Yes, I saw that. Denise, what,
I was just going to say what you were saying, Betsy and Steve, about, if you don't hear from a person after a certain period of time, give them a week, maybe a week and a half. And I would also suggest checking their contributions to see the last time they were active, which Betsy mentioned the activity, because you may be writing out to a person that hasn't been active since they created that profile. I've come across that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, those are all good suggestions. And Steve put the link in there on what to do for somebody that's unresponsive. So.
And to Stephen, to Vitz's comment here as well. So he is right that we've had some issues online with people trying to get information that has not been, valid. So sometimes you might get something that seems out of place. Check with one of us first before you start clicking on random links. Because someone who has been trying to hack into WikiTree. So these things are not unavoidable. I mean, if you're on the internet, you might be a target of something. But I just wanted to bring that to attention, what Stephen was saying. If he wants to talk more about it in particular,
So my key takeaway from this conversation is that it is something that you want to verify with the project owner, with the profile owner. Unlike Family Search, where people make changes on a whim, and half of them, in my opinion, are wrong. Here, you want to ensure that you've communicated, you've done your due diligence in the research, and that you're able to have a primary source that would back up that information.
Yes.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And that's the, what would I call it? That's the rule as opposed to Family Search, just do whatever you want.
True.
And on Family Search, you can see people's handles, but they don't really have a profile associated with them, so you don't get to know them as a person, and you don't get to see that relationship to the profiles that they're working on. So in the case of WikiTree, there is a centralized place you can go, and you can understand, it's like, oh, they're working on this type of research, or they're working on this family. So, I could tell that they're more involved in that. And of course, with the honor code being signed, it adheres to us using physical sources and making sure that, yeah, we are putting the right info in here.
Well, I would like to think that the people on Family Search that are making changes are doing it for what they believe are all the right reasons. Okay. You have obviously different levels of folks who are into genealogy. You have that very beginner, barely know how to spell the word, to people that have been doing genealogy for, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I just come across situations where I'm forever. If I wanted to keep a family tree on Family Search, I would spend my entire time correcting other people's mistakes.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm here with the intent that, one, that doesn't happen, or at least it's not prevalent.
Yes.
And two, I am able to communicate with somebody who's trying to make some corrections or changes or whatever, and try to have a decent dialogue and maybe come to a mutual understanding.
Yeah, I feel like on WikiTree there's more accountability because we have a list of changes that we've made. People can be, I don't want to say watched, but you can keep tabs on somebody if somebody's making illicit changes. Like it's a lot easier to report something like that when you have a profile to associate it with, whereas it seems like it's just a bunch of random names on Family Search with no, again, like I said, centralized place. And that's less community to me on Family Search than it is here on WikiTree.
Yeah, and I think another thing that can be a very novel perspective for people when they come to WikiTree is the idea that the tree belongs to us all. And so even though you are the profile manager of this certain particular profile, if it is open, I mean, someone can go in, if they have a valid source that shows a fact, they can add it to the profile. And we all have to make our peace with that.
But they should provide a good edit summary for why they did it too. I mean, edit summaries are highly important. For any kind of changes, even if it's the minor, formatting changes that I do all the time, I at least tell somebody what I'm doing, right?
And if it's a substantial change, one would hope that there's that communication.
Yes.
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
We don't live in a perfect world, unfortunately.
We try. We can aspire.
We should go back to the honor code because I think that's an important part of the honor code is that people make mistakes. And so we should understand that, that those things happen and communication allows us to get around assumptions or, don't WikiTree angry is one of the tenets of WikiTree is that you don't want to go on there and start typing mad words to people when you may not have interpreted some situation correctly. I would recommend going back for the honor code in general, just to hit the points because you already got it.
It's a good thing to reread every once in a while. Kevin.
I was wondering, you guys talking about Family Search. Is Family Search a separate program than WikiTree, or?
Oh yes. Here, let me go back to screen sharing. It is similar in that it is also a one world family tree. And it is really a wonderful repository for us all.
Is it a free service or is it a fee service?
It is also free. I mean, you do have to sign up for a free account, but you can find records. And unlike Ancestry, Ancestry, you need a subscription.
Yes.
But for instance, here I've been looking at William Cooper Livingston recently. So for each person, there's there's sort of a fact page, and then you can see that he has 26 sources. Now, this is where I spend most of my time. And for instance, say I want to look at the 1880 census, then I can click on the link, and then I can see, well, first of all, I can see the actual image.
Physical.
So that that's my preference. And then what I can do, if I say, yes, this is my guy, I want to copy this citation over to WikiTree, I just copy citation. And then I go over to WikiTree and I go into edit mode on the profile. Let's see. I'll here I have it right there. Okay, I actually have this census in here already, but I'll just show you. I go to my sources, I add an asterisk, and I add the source.
Control V.
Yep, I just paste it in.
But it's already there, so you don't need it.
Yep. Right, exactly. The other option, and I'm just going to hark to Beverly asked me a question over email recently, is about the C button. So if I come up here and I want to say William was living with his parents in Indiana in 1880. If I want to back that up, now I'm going to click on C. See, my cursor is right here. I've stated a fact. I click the C. And now I've got this highlighted thing. I'm just going to go paste. And there's there. And what that's going to do, you know what, I can go, well, what this would do, here, I'll show you through preview, is that now I have an inline citation, and it's going to say, okay, there's my fact. William was living with his parents in Indiana in 1880, and it will take them right to this one. Yeah.
Hey, Betsy, you want to know something else really cool?
Yes, always.
So go back to that family search.
Okay. Wait, let me get out of William first.
Oh, no, I wanted to use this. Don't do it yet.
Oh, okay. Don't do it. Okay.
So go back to that. Okay, so you're on the page itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have WikiTree Sourcer available?
Yes.
Okay. So now you're on that page.
Yeah.
And then click on the one and go down. Now, here's a cool thing. If you want to actually display the data in a census on WikiTree, you can go to Build Household Table, and it will copy all of that data for you, so you don't have to do it yourself. And it'll show the ages, and it'll show their birth dates, and all the people that are in that household, and it'll highlight the one that you're talking about in particular. So what I'm doing now is when I see a census, I do the info, I do the inline citation, and then immediately after that, I drop the household table. So now it's creating more of a story on the profile. So just, go ahead and click on that.
That is so cool.
Actually, let me show you, because I already
sorry.
have that in this profile here.
There it is, right there.
Example.
Yeah, this is what it would look like. And Stephen said the person is bolded. And it's just, I tend to do this, especially if there are further profiles that need to be added to, within the family. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good way to expand the tree outward and then get the brothers, sisters. And you can even see that there's borders on this one that we're living with them. So they're unrelated people, but they might be connected to them through friendship. And so that expands the genealogical part of the tree.
Oh, this is interesting because Savory was in the family tree. So they listed him as a border, but it's like it must have been a nephew.
Well, he was only 10 at the time of that census.
Yeah. But he was
married in later.
No, it was his wife's maiden name, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to see this to jog my memory that, oh, look, there's the family connection, because there.
But it's telling a story when you see that.
Steve, would you please put the information for the sorcerer in
Sure.
in the
Yeah.
chat? Yep.
I was just about to ask him that.
Thank you. And Denise, did you want to add?
Yes, just one other thing. When you look at that sorcerer list, right up above household, there's one that says build narrative. And when you build the narrative, you get both the description, like in 1880, yada, 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 and then you get the household table. So that narrative gives you a combination of what you would normally get from an inline citation, as well as the household table.
Right, right. So this is one sorcerer is one. Thank you, Denise. Yeah. I tend to just go straight to that, but you're absolutely right. We have all these options. Now, sorcerer is a special add-on browser extension that is, you could say, maybe more advanced. So if you're brand new, you probably don't have this. It does make your life so much easier. So that would probably be the first bell and whistle.
Yeah, I kind of jumped ahead on that, didn't I? I'm getting into the advanced concepts.
Right.
But it's such a cool thing to have, though. Like, I really like the household table builder.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did link it in the chat. Sorry.
Thank you, Steve.
Kevin's next.
Kevin, did you have another question?
Your hand's still
No,
raised.
no, I'm good. Thanks. Sorry.
Okay. Sure. And Anne, did you have a comment to add?
On Sorcerer, it says a cup of coffee. What does that mean?
Yeah. So there's a item. Buy me a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
that's from the developer. WikiTree, all these tools, these apps and browser extensions, they're all given to us for free. And I think our developer of Sorcerer, Rob Pavey, did have to put some money into getting it in the Apple Store, and so he's like, if you'd like to get me a cup of coffee, I'd appreciate it. So
And one thing nice is one thing interesting is that if you are on a Mac and you want Sorcerer, you do have to pay for it, which is $26 if you're on a Mac. But I would pay $26 for it because what it is that when you're on an Apple, the source you have to pay for the the person has to pay for it to be on Apple.
I don't remember. I remember having to pay a very small amount.
Right. Yes.
$5.
Yeah. I just paid $5.
Yeah.
Recently.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely worth it. I use it all the time.
Yeah. So. Oh well. Oh yeah. That is. I do only sourcing mostly, and I love it. And one thing nice is that if I find something on another site, I want to see if it's free on Family Search first, and if it's there, then I use the Family Search one, then the paid one, which is a lot easier for everybody.
Right. Great. Well, so I want to make sure that our newest members have a chance to ask their questions. So please don't hold back. And we can screen share, look at profiles together. How can we help you?
So how can you raise your hand on this format?
Well, you know what, Vera, you just did. What's your question?
How do you get to that?
It's under reaction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the react, which is the heart, and you'll see the big button that says raise hand.
Right. Okay.
But if you speak up, we'll get the idea too.
I was just I went to a genealogy meeting at our library where they were just trying to start a genealogy group, and they had given me the list of different things like WikiTree and other things.
That's nice to talk about.
So it's kind of confusing, but I think it was on, what was the other one you were talking about? Family Tree or something
Family
like that?
Search. Family Search.
Family Search. Okay, so if you don't have a link and you have actual documents, how do you upload those for
Well, can you give us a specific example?
Okay, in my family, my grandparents immigrated from Poland and moved to Kansas City, Kansas. Back in 1910 to 1913. And their oldest daughter was born in Poland and immigrated with her mother, my grandmother. And her name was Mary Malco. And there was another Mary Malco who lives in Kansas City, Kansas, or did live. They were the same age. And there was a legal dispute about them trying to put a lien on my grandfather's house because of some debts from the other Mary Malco. And so they had to go to court and prove that the two people were separate. I actually went to the courthouse in Kansas City and got documentations from the property records that said this Mary somebody Malco is not the same as I am because I've never had a middle name. And, you know, so it distinguished between the two. But quite often when I get on these other trees, they've picked up, because they were both living in Kansas City, Kansas, a lot of the information on them is mixed up. You know, they think they're the same person or you know, one's the other person or whatever.
Sure.
And I have the death certificate for my Aunt Mary, which has my grandparents. Pardon?
When did she pass?
Let's see if I can remember. Here, let me pull up my.
Yeah, I'm already looking at your father's profile, and there's no parents for it. So, but he was born in 1915, so that would have put her around 18.
Yeah,
or something for birth.
Yeah, he was born 1915. She was born while they were still in Russia. She was born in 1911. But she married and moved down to Texas. So her death took place in Texas while the other Mary Malco's death took place in Kansas City, Kansas. So they're always getting those confused. But what I'm saying is I have her a physical copy of her death certificate because I purchased it.
Right.
So how do I put that somewhere where I can put a link on it, or do I take a picture and upload it, or?
If I may make a comment. So if you paid money for a death certificate, it probably says on there, don't share this anywhere. It's illegal, which is the case in Wisconsin with a lot of records. So there might be a death index. You might be able to go on Family Search and find the death index for the Texas or the Kansas City record and be able to cite that. Because all you want is the data, right? You just want to share the data that's off the index or
Yeah.
So you don't want to actually upload the physical record to WikiTree because that could constitute a big issue, copyright issue.
Okay.
But if it's already been indexed somewhere else, go ahead, Betsy.
Yeah,
she died in 1991. You were asking when she died.
Right.
That's only 30 years ago. Yeah.
I don't know. Have you looked for the record on Family Search or Ancestry?
No, I haven't gotten that. I looked for it on Ancestry, but I canceled my membership to Ancestry because it was up for renewal and I didn't want to pay for it. So
I'm going into Family Search right now.
There's something else that you can do, and this is what I did for my father's death certificate, which he passed in 2007, and it's just far too recent to put a death certificate up. And I'll put this in the chat. So what I wrote is death certificates, and then I don't remember the number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm making that up. In possession.
Well, let's get Deb back in the waiting room there. Okay.
Possession of. Now, this is a very valuable little bit of wiki code that I'm going to show you here. Co. Okay. So if you look at what I just put in the chat, you could cite this, use this as a source citation. So, and actually probably what I would also put in there is the state,
Okay.
Connecticut death certificate number 4, in possession of. And now what that double bracket, ID, pipe sign, and then my name double bracket. What that code is going to create is a hyperlink to my profile.
Okay.
Do you want to see that in action?
Now, am I going to have access to these chats after?
You should be able to download it.
I found Mary Malco, born 1912, living in Kansas City in 1930. Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then father's birthplace, Russia. Yeah, they're considering it Russia, but of course Poland, Prussia, Russia, all of that kind of blends.
It depends on what you look at. His shipping manifest says Russia, and his naturalization papers said Poland, and because it went back and forth between those.
Yeah, right. Mary Malcolm McMillian it's attached to that. It's weird though. Her birthday in 1911, her death date 0199. So year 199 is obviously not correct.
No, it was 1990.
In Deaf Plano, Texas. So this is the person. Yeah. So you have a person with 2 sources on Family Search that you can cite to create that person's profile. And I'm just trying to see if one of the sources is a deaf certificate or a deaf index.
See, both of those are.
Does not appear to be. I'm just getting censuses.
My Aunt Mary. She was born August 1st, 1911.
Yep.
And she died May 12th, 1991 in Plano, Texas.
Okay, yeah, they flipped the numbers around, so we got to fix that. But the profile definitely exists, and I would like to send the link to you personally. I think I'm going to do that just personally here in the chat, not to the public part of the chat.
Okay.
So you go to that person's profile.
And I'm also putting in the chat a link to a space, just a free space page that I put together with helpful bits of WikiTree, wiki code. Like someone like Vera was just saying, oh, am I going to be able to save the chat to remember that formula? And all those little sorts of tricks, like how do I get things in bold? How do I hyperlink something? How do that's in this sort of cheat sheet. And you're very welcome to take it and run with what I've done, or create your own, because that's all that this was. It was the result of what I learned as I went along. Yeah.
Okay.
You see that, Vera?
Fun.
Should only be using.
Yes.
Very informative today.
Now, Greg, I'm just reading what you wrote in the chat about this interesting work you did. Sounds like you've got a little project going. The Seahorse, 1974.
Dramaturgy.
Found a great Brooks, Texas. Well, Greg, when was this does this person already have the great grandmother, does she have a WikiTree profile? Or no, not yet?
Greg is muted.
Hey, Greg, did you walk away? Oh, okay. Greg's responding in the chat.
Oh.
As of an hour ago, she has a profile.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us the profile ID?
That'll be her last name, a dash, and the number associated with that profile.
Right. So yeah, this is
Carmen.
Here it is.
what is it?
Carmen 10598. HARMON.
Tell me the number again. 10.
10598.
Got it. Okay.
You know, like the chess lady.
Great. Okay. So when I am working in an area where I'm unfamiliar, the first thing I do is I go, well, let's do this. Family
Let's go to Flip World, yeah.
No, not Flip World. Okay, family search, and I'm going to go to the research wiki.
It takes a while, family search.
Yep. Okay.
A little
And
laggy.
then I'm going to go Texas. And so this is basically going to be a help page for Texas records.
Yes, the county law.
You know, there are all the counties. It will also tell me when vital records began being recorded in the state, both from like when was it ordered to be recorded and when did it actually become recorded. Sometimes those two dates are different. What were we looking for? Was it a birth date?
Going
A
back.
birth record?
Any idea on where Texas births are hidden?
Oh, so look right here, how to find birth records. So, and then it will break it down for you. Now, where is our friend Lorinda was born 1854, approximately. So okay, births before 1873.
Oh, there's an index.
Okay, before no births were recorded, you must search substitute records. So these would be your options, Greg. You know, it does get tough with some of the.
Hold on, there is a Texas births index, 1840 to 1981. Would that not be what we could use?
Where do you see that?
Below, even though it says 1873 to 1902, it actually says 1840 to 1891.
Good eye, Steve.
So maybe it wasn't categorized correctly.
Probably you're right.
Lucinda Harmon, 1850.
Maybe we could just do a search for the name without any time frame.
Brooks.
Go wide and then go small.
Yeah.
But there's 12. Okay, maybe this is the person.
And do we have anything with parents? No.
Russell is the person that those one married, and Clark is what we're looking for a spouse.
Well, but we're looking for her birth, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to match, like, you know, who her spouse was.
Right.
I would say take the year out and see if that helps.
John Clark, maybe?
Yeah, just search just the name itself. Oh, did you want to add the spouse?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay, then yeah, just search the name by itself without the year.
Okay. Well, that gives way more.
Well, 55 is not horrible. It's not 390,000.
But anyway, so
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do, Greg. And you'd probably have to, you know, maybe be creative. I would try and find a death record for her, because a death record might have. What was that, Steve?
Moshevitz is linking Lorinda Bell in West Virginia off of My Heritage. So
okay,
maybe.
Yeah. So a death record would also give you birthday. You know, ideally, it would give you birthday and parents. depending on the knowledge level of the. Yeah.
Even found it.
Stephen found it?
Got an
Yeah,
iris.
but
The
it's
delay.
my heritage, though.
Yeah, I was trying to point out Tomashevitz's link that he had.
The second one's got a delayed certificate of birth, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, my heritage is also kind of problematic too, isn't it? Paywall as well.
Yep. And my subscription's running out pretty quick. So.
Yeah, it's just asking me to pay it $11, so I can't see what you shared.
Gotcha.
But I get 31% discount versus 15.
Hey, Stephen, what if you, when you're when you got that record, go to Cursor and then go to Family Search and see if that is on Family Search? Because I do a lot of that. Linking.
Family Search is a tremendously useful resource. And I'm on there every day, honestly.
Oh,
I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for Family Search, what we would have access to? I mean, there's so much stuff that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has allotted us to have.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I want to, we are getting close to the hour, and yeah, but now I just want to say, as a, sort of a teaser, our next Q&A will be the fourth Sunday, so that's December 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern. And the topic for that meeting will be JEDCOM, importing a JEDCOM. And Hillary Gadsby, who's one of our English members, she knows a great deal about that topic for obvious reasons.
Isn't she still cleaning hers up?
She's asleep right now, so that's why she doesn't join us on Thursday nights, but she's with us on Sunday mornings, and she will be walking us through importing a JEDCOM, and she's going to demonstrate. So, come back for that.
You should tell them what a JITCOM is first before.
Sure. Well, I'm afraid I don't know if I could spell out the acronym, but it's basically, it's the file of a family tree. So if you've done your genealogy on Ancestry and you want to try and import it over to WikiTree or anywhere else, you would do a JEDCOM.
Okay, so JEDCOM stands for Genealogical Data Communication. So the GE in genealogical and the COM, or the D in data and then the COM in communication. So that's what the JEDCOM is. And it's a standard, and I will link that page as well, just to maybe give people a heads up before the actual talk.
Right.
So let me just get out this direct message really quick here, and more info to the people.
Yeah. And before we close out, I'll just take one more question, and I will say, if we didn't get to your question, and it really can't wait. First of all, I'm sorry we didn't get to your question, and if it can't wait until the 22nd, please send me a private message or any right on my page, and I will get back to you. Steve will probably put his ID up there as well.
I might stick around a little bit after this officially ends, in case someone still has a pushing need, so but we'll put our IDs in the chat for people.
Right. Here is it's just that we won't keep the video rolling because it's a little easier when it's closer to an hour. So Sue, what's your question?
Hey, when you gave the link with your name and number, did you want to show her where she can get that right off of your profile page?
Oh, sure. That's a good suggestion. So if someone were on my profile page, there are a couple of ways to get the information. First of all, look at the top sub menu. That has my profile ID. And then also right next to my name, you can just copy the ID. And
Or it's in the URL.
There. Or, as Steve said, it's at the end of the web address.
Hey, when you were talking about the death certificate and to put your name, if you just click on the link one,
yes,
then it puts that link right in it.
Right. So let me show you. Let's see. So that was my father's death certificate. And so, okay. So passed away in his medical office on December 3rd, 2007. And so it says death certificate in possession of Betsy Ko. So you can see that would take you right to my profile. And just to show you what it looks like in edit mode. So there is, I have it as an inline citation. So you have to have these little beginning and ending ref tags.
Yeah. It's HTML.
Right, but what I plopped in the middle of that was what I put in the chat. Death certificate in possession.
Oh, I noticed a little thing. The period should be on the other side of the ref because the ref is inside the period of the sentence.
You know what? I did this early. You know, someone actually scolded me for that a long time. I don't remember
It's both a blessing and a curse because I just can't help but find stuff like that.
There we go. It's fixed.
Uh-oh. That is 2 periods.
Sorry.
Okay, all better.
Proper formatting.
So actually, now I'm going to say, now we will say I've changed formatting.
Yeah, this is a good example. We'll use the edit summary to say, minor formatting. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll save.
Oh.
It's so simple.
Does that help, Sue?
Well, okay, right up on after the name there and the scissors and the ID and the link.
Yes.
If you click on the link, that's how she could find what she had to put in the brackets. Her own name.
Right. Like if I copy the wiki link and I'll just put it here just so that everybody can see it. Okay. It gives the double brackets, the ID, the pipeline, and then the name.
And in this case, it actually adds the years to it, which is not required. But
right.
if you
Sometimes
just
I take that out.
Yeah.
Basically, whatever you put after the pipeline is what is going to appear as the text.
This is what we call a piped link because it has a pipe in the middle. So the double brackets that open it and the double brackets that close it, and then the two different sections defined by the pipe. And the visible text that you want to show should be the text on the right, and the link to the profile would be the text on the left.
That's... Oh.
Yes, so that would really help her when she was talking about the death certificate.
Yes.
For the link back to yourself.
Yep.
And I think Stephen got the death certificate on the link.
Other Stephen.
Yeah, the Stephen. Sorry.
Stephen.
Stephen P.
That's the one.
It works.
Right. Okay. Yes. Good point. Thank you, Sue. I think for our new members, you will discover that there are usually about 3 ways to do the same thing on WikiTree. So just be prepared for that. There's many ways to get to the same destination. And it's all good. Whatever works for your brain. So I just I've lost it now. We wanted to look at Jerry. Jerry, what was your question?
Thank you. Hopkins, isn't that something?
That's
That's my name.
that's the one I put up to ask
Oh,
questions about.
oh, that's funny.
Wait a minute. Okay. Sorry. So,
Oh, sorry.
okay, what is the profile that you wanted to ask us about? Jerry?
Me? It was
Yes.
just about the chat. Somebody said you can download it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All
It
right.
was important for me.
Okay, we'll go over that in a second.
Whenever. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And sure. And Mark, did you want to ask us any questions about Charles's profile?
Basically, this was a profile that I adopted, which is something I learned how to do and apparently can't stop doing. Yes, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
But if you scroll down the formatting on the biography, I was trying different things and highlights and italicized and then I like put the different lists of the children. And I haven't seen, looking at other profiles, I haven't seen one consistent format. But is there a preferred way? Is there a table code? And then if you look on that one up just above where your cursor is, there's a whole long string of references all in a row.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to interrupt at the end of every sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Does that
Yeah,
work?
that is okay. I mean, you will find if you get involved with any of our projects like the Scotland project or the England project, profile improvement project, some of the projects do have guidelines. Like, for instance, the England project really wants to make sure that they would love how you did this date. They want all of their profiles to be day, month, year. But it's, if you're not involved in a project, you can do it in a way that is logical and aesthetically pleasing to you. And then, it tells a story and it also includes, all the sources to back things up. It just looks
And
fun.
the reason there were so many sources is because primarily I had all of this stuff in my Ancestry.com account.
Yeah.
And that's where I build the biography. So that's where my sources are. But then I would go over to Family Search and find the same sources. So I could put that source in there as well.
They're visible then.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why there's like 8 of them for that. Yeah, and those are all census things.
That's
I
fine.
think.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And also, for the military, he should have a Civil War catalog. His
sticker.
And
yeah, you could. What Anne is talking about is let's see,
The category or a sticker?
A sticker.
Both. Okay.
Well, both.
Especially since he served at Antietam, he got wounded.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat.
That was the bloodiest Empire War, wasn't it? Yeah, Antietam was the.
You can put a sticker on a profile, to identify a country of birth or migration or occupation.
Okay, but where do I find that code?
So that probably actually should be
a project,
another topic, but I'll show you. Like, if you see a sticker that you like, think, hey, I want to put that on one of my profiles. Feel free to go into
borrow it.
Absolutely. And you can see now I put the sticker in the part of the biography where I'm talking about him as an adult and the fact that he was a farmer for his whole life. And there it is. You just copy it.
Wow, that's pretty easy. Okay.
Maybe keep a running list of these are stickers I like.
Yeah.
They are everywhere.
Okay, so The scratch pad, is that something, when you put things in there, is that visible to everybody?
That's yours
Oh, good
only.
question.
It's your private
Is it?
scratch pad on your opening page that has your family tree, right? Yeah. No, that's only for your own personal usage. No one should really be able to see that. But if you post your stuff on a profile, yeah, that could be visible depending on the privacy level.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll back up. Somebody else can go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Denise has her hand up.
Yeah, in referencing the stickers, if you go back to edit,
yes,
and scroll down a little bit. Yeah, stop right there, right there. Oh, I don't see it for yours. There's another option. It must be under Sourcer.
We turned off the browser extension, so there's probably less buttons.
Yeah, so there's one where you can click on like biography and something else. I do it in my sleep now, but you can, in the drop list it says add stickers, and it will provide you with an entire list of stickers that are available within WikiTree. So that way you don't have to wonder, is there a sticker for this?
Right.
You can go through
and that's
that
in the
pick
Sourcer?
list.
That would be on the browser extension.
Under the browser
Yeah, so I have that.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah.
Oh, browser extension now.
Yeah, you'd activate that part of it, and then
I could only handle. I could only handle one change at a time.
Only changes.
I don't know. You may like this change though, because if you want to, if you want to see those stickers, or you want to add another category, it's got pick lists.
Yeah, I would say the categories are going to be a simpler way to approach that, because then you can categorize them all together, and it's not necessarily about decoration in that case. It's more just about coordinating where the profile is going to go. And some stickers can have categories associated with them, but not all of them.
Yes.
So here's a good formula. This is my grandmother's page.
She's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Jerry.
Oh, she is breathtaking.
So if you take any state, and you just, as you have probably figured out now, the double curly brackets will give you a sticker. And you just write Connecticut sticker, Colorado sticker. It will give you the sticker for that state. But I am going to tell you that it's very fussy. If you put a lowercase s, it will not work.
Breaks it.
So it's capitals, all capitals. Stickers go below the biography, whereas categories go above the biography.
And categories use double brackets, so they're treated more like links. And anything that's considered a template is going to have curly brackets. So you'll notice that those will be the curly brackets that are next to the other brackets. Actually, if you hold your Shift button, you can change. You'll be able to select curly brackets on that same button.
Oh,
yeah. That's basic wiki markup that you'll find across the wiki, which is in addition to all of the HTML that's used for citations. So you'll see both wiki markup and HTML being used on a page.
And also, if you want to get the categories, go to help, and then all the way to help search, and then just put in categories, and it'll give you categories because Denise is doing it.
Categories.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anne.
The mother category.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I know. She helped me a lot.
Categories. So.
Yeah. You see all different kinds of category names. Yeah.
Well, these are the help pages. These are not the actual category pages.
Help pages are fantastic.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Here, go under Find Categories.
There's the
there it is.
Yeah. So you have occupations, regions, cemeteries. Those are probably the most frequently used.
If it exists, there's probably a category for it.
Right.
And if there isn't, we can create one. And that's a whole nother story. These things just keep going in all sorts of directions. And we've been working on this for literally decades and still find new things.
Yeah.
And the to-do list, is that something people use a lot?
Yes. Yes.
It's up to you. If it helps, then yes.
Yes.
Oh, right. Again,
That's visible.
That's a free space.
No. You mean the to-do list that's on the homepage for WikiTree?
Yeah. So,
Here,
what
let me-
page is that? Well, it's a whole separate page.
The nav homepage.
Yeah, and
that's like the default page that you would start with. So it's
a free space page, but it's got the title to-do list.
I think mine is visible.
I think it's
It said something about putting a link to it on your profile.
Mm-hmm. I have mine subcategorized. I have personal categories, so I believe mine is within my personal category.
Right.
Yeah, there it is. Greenwood to-do list. So, like, this is visible by the public.
Oh, there it is, right there.
And people can see the profiles I'm working on. And other people can come in and try to help out with them. Yeah.
Well, that's the scratch pad.
Right.
I'll screen share really quick if that's cool.
Go ahead. Yep.
Kick you off here. What am I doing? I forgot how to screen share. Okay, yeah, here's my stupid face.
Steven.
Okay, everybody see this?
No, not yet.
Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I getcha.
You are.
Okay.
Whoa.
So I'm actually looking at it in public view. So effectively, this is something that I have my face doing WikiTree stuff that was actually used during SourceCon. And then there's like a whole bunch of people here that have like some birth dates, death dates, and effectively everybody that I was working on initially. And this list has gotten much bigger, but like I had a couple of to-dos. I was working on a whole bunch of Germans in the place that my grandmother was born. So I'm trying to like use this data to further my research. And so if anybody else is working on this, they can see this is on my to-do list and that it's fairly complicated. There's a lot of baptisms and christenings that I came across. It just goes on forever. But yeah. So that, we just go back to the top here really fast. It's a way for people to see like where I mean, obviously, if they go to my profile itself, it's ridiculous because of how much stuff I have on mine, and I have a lot of contents here, and all the things that I work on, and all the history that I have associated with WikiTree. So, if anybody's interested in Germans, I am a part of Germany Project, and I can certainly talk to them about that. I also have been involved in some other projects too. So,
well, I've got Mayflower and the Pilgrim Great Migration that I've already kind of figured out the links to. I don't know if how many are not proven yet, but also I'm sure I have a bunch of Acadians.
There's an Acadian project too, right?
Yeah, there's a Mayflower project. There's an Acadian project.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have a lot of ancestors that moved from like Connecticut to Nova Scotia after the clearances. So British loyalists, we presume.
Yeah.
And then several generations later, they would move back down to New England. Some of them did. And down to Nashua, New Hampshire, which is where my immediate family ended up coming from. So down to the mills and that part of New Hampshire. So it's been a cool little history lesson for me that I've really been enjoying.
And
nothing like family to make history personal.
Yeah.
And there might be individual state projects too, like Connecticut, New Hampshire. So somebody's like working just in those states. You can talk to people on those. A lot of the teams that are reflected in the Connectathon and the Sourceathon might focus on geographic areas, so like the Northeast. You can figure out like who's working on Northeast stuff. That way.
That's me.
Oh, there's a person right there who found one.
Oh yeah, Betsy. Stephen T has found West Virginia births for Lucia Harmon.
Or Lucinda.
Yeah. It is on Family Search.
Oh, but
it's in the chat.
I see. But I thought she was born in Texas. No.
Died in Texas.
Oh wait. Died. Okay.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Right. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of examples. Okay, well that's fantastic. Thank you, Stephen.
No problem.
Quick fingers there.
A little bit of active research getting done here on the chat, which is good.
Right, and also they want to find out how do you download the chat.
Oh yes. Okay. So let's sign off, say goodnight in terms of the recording, and then we'll talk everybody through how to download the chat. So I'll go ahead and thank you to everyone who's watching afterwards, and hope you'll join us on the 22nd at 11 in the morning Eastern.